Your realtor should have more than just a lockbox key. I've spent 15 years curating relationships that open doors.
Thank you for joining us. You're going to want to stay with us because today we're going to be talking to Maribel Diaz, who's running for County Court Judge. Congratulations on putting your head out there, all right? Because running for office gets tough sometimes. So tell us what it's been like.
I've met a lot of interesting people across Miami-Dade County. This is my first time running for anything. I've been an attorney for 18 years. I've practiced across the state of Florida, so coming across a lot of interesting individuals from all walks of life, and they've embraced me. And I recently lost my mother, so it's actually very it's been special to me to have all of these different people come to me and talk to me about it, and you know, oh, I'm so sorry, and actually be there for me in this difficult time.
So you have both these things going on.
Yes.
You have this, oh my goodness, my mom's gone. And then second, going out there and being exposed to all this new stimulation, people out there, some cheering you on and some that are not.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
So why did you decide, hey, I want to run for office and then run for judge?
Okay, so since I was 6 years old, I basically told my parents, I said, I'm going to be a lawyer and I want to be a judge. So since I was 6, my father's like, okay, we'll do the prepaid college and we'll get you there. And, you know, so I went to college. I worked 2 jobs during college, part-time and a full-time. I graduated with honors. I'm an accountant. I have an accounting degree. And then I went to law school and passed the bar and started working. And I worked in the private sector for many, many years. And then I said, you know what? It's time to serve the community. I live in Miami-Dade County my whole life. I want to serve my community. Working in the private sector is not for me. So I started working for government. And I've been working for government for about maybe 5 or 6 years.
So what is that like? What was the calling when you said, I want to do bigger things and I want to serve the public? How did you become acutely aware of that?
Oh, I got home one day and I said, what am I doing? Is this my life every day? Just, working in the private sector, working for private firms and making the money. What am I doing to serve my community with my knowledge?
You're lucky that you found it so soon, because a lot of people go through their lives and then go, what have I been doing this whole time? What pushed you to that point of saying, I'm really not happy doing this. I think I could be happier serving. Was there something in prior to that caused you to lean that way?
It was doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's all about money, money, money. And I was like, you know what? I need to go out there and I need to do something different. I've lived here my whole life and I like people. I like to hear their stories. I like to listen. That's my primary thing, is listening to people and what they have to say. And I was like, you know what? I want to serve the community. So I got a government job and I was like, it's time for me to run. My mother got sick and I wanted her to see me excel in my career, see me what we've been talking about since I was 6. And I said, you know what? It's time to run for office.
So at age 6, you said, I want to be a lawyer.
Yes.
That's when you expressed it to. Who did you say that to?
My father.
Okay. And that was pretty bold. All right. That's when you expressed it. But when did you start thinking about it?
At that age. At that age, I started thinking about it. I said, you know what? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer and I want to be a judge. And I went ahead and I went to law school. I have 3 degrees, actually. I have one from business degree and AA from Miami-Dade Community College. I have my bachelor's is from St. Thomas University. And then my law degree is from Nova. So I stayed local here, pretty much. My home, I said, I'm going to take the Florida bar because I'm not going anywhere. I'm 305 all the way. So I want to serve my community, and how better to serve my community than having the honor of being a judge and getting elected by my voters.
Yeah, that's a big deal to go out and to get people to support you and to do that. But let's talk about when you're an attorney. Typically, there's always somebody on the other side. Versus in regular business, you may have competitors, but it's not in your face type of when you're a lawyer and you're practicing representing somebody, and the other guy's trying to find fault in your stuff that you didn't do it quite right. But what was that like for you when you became a lawyer? Maybe it was in law school. And you said somebody's over there trying to punch holes in my case. What's that like for you?
I've had so many cases and so many opposing counsels throughout my 18 years, because I've practiced throughout the whole state of Florida, that they're just doing their job. They're just doing the job. I just have to make sure that I do mine better, that I make my arguments better, that I prepare more than they do. Make sure that, see, I had an interesting experience early on in my career. There was a judge that says to me, Ms. Diaz, you're just starting out, and I want to share something with you. Judges don't know everything. It's up to you to teach us, to tell us about your case, to prepare when you come to court, and that's going to make you successful. So I took that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that from this judge, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to experience it. So every time I would prepare my case, I would spend hours preparing whatever case it was, whether it's a small case or a big case, medium case, whatever it is. And I made sure that when I go to court, I know what I'm talking about. I make sure that I know my case, I know my case law, I know what I need to do and what I need to say.
So we recognize so often that you could be right and lose. That happens all the time because you're not able to make your case. And so it's important to be a good communicator. So
it is.
In your communication skills, what makes you good?
I think before I speak. You can't just speak and not know what you're talking about. I think before I speak. And I like to explain things to people. I like to listen to people. And that's what a judge is. The judge listens to people. It listens to both sides of the story and then makes a decision based on what the facts are and what the law is. Right? We don't make up the law. We don't legislate the law. That's up to the government. But we interpret it and we apply the facts to the law. We listen to what people have to say. I'm a good listener. I like to listen to people and I like to be quiet because when you listen, you find out very interesting things about your case. Even when you're listening to opposing counsel, I don't ever interrupt them. I listen to them speak. And when I listen to them speak, there's always something that I can pick up from that argument that I can use myself. And that's
from a mouth of babes, as the saying goes.
Mm-hmm.
So what type of, what's the difference between civil county court and circuit court? Okay,
well, county court is basically the amount in controversy, right? Your county court, county court includes small claims in county. It's up to $50,000, and then circuit court is more than that. So circuit court is at a higher level, right? So I decided to go, I've practiced in both, so I've decided to go for county court. The reason why is because of the amount, the volume, right? It's the people's court is what they call it, right? Because the people's first encounter with the law is usually through county court. Right? People come and they're nervous because they're in front of a judge and they don't know. And a lot of these people are unrepresented. So my job is to be impartial, but explain what the process is. You know, explain why I make my decision and explain to them how this works while still maintaining impartiality, right? Because you have to be impartial. That's what a judge does. So I decided that county court would actually fit me better because of the experience I have and because I'm always used to the higher volume of cases. I said, well, you know what? I can do better for the community in county court because of that volume that's now trafficking through the county court instead of the circuit.
Are you familiar with how many in traffic court? More or less, how many traffic cases might a judge handle in a day?
I've never been to traffic court because I've always done civil.
I'm sorry, could you give me some water?
I've always done civil. I've never really been to traffic court, but I know that traffic court has a huge volume of cases. A lot. That goes before the court, yes.
So, okay, thank you. Okay. So what is it like being on the campaign trail? You wake up in the morning and what do you do?
I wake up in the morning and I plan my day, right? I plan my day a few days ahead of time. I still work. So I have to do that on my time, weekends and nights and things like that. I plan my day as any normal day, you know. I have to go to this neighborhood, or I have to do this other particular thing. There's some activities going on. Okay, I need to attend this activity. Can I attend that activity? I have to be within the rules, right? So I have to be careful where I go, you know, and what I attend. So I am very careful with that. So I do attend some activities, for example, the community news, you know, activities that a lot of people
Yes.
attend and things like that. I go to the community, different types of community. I talk to people.
How has this helped you grow as a human being?
It's helped me a lot because everyone has a story. Everybody comes from a different walk of life. Not everybody's the same. Everybody has issues. Everybody's has lost a loved one, has lost a job, or has money problems, and so you understand the community better when you go out there and you actually start talking to voters. And I'm not surprised at my reaction at it because I knew that this was, you know, life. But when you actually go out there and you actually talk to people, I love it. I just love it. I'm having it's actually keeping me very busy. I'm concentrating a lot in what I'm doing, and I love it. I love talking to voters. I love it.
So in your prior lifetime, before you signed up for this, were you as driven to meet new people, or does this cause you to do a little bit extra?
This has caused me to do a little bit extra, and I enjoy it. I didn't know that I was going to enjoy it so much, but I enjoy it.
And this when is the election?
August 8th is the early voting.
And when did you in earnest start campaigning?
Well, as soon as when I filed.
And when was that?
In April. I filed early April, which is the early filing dates. And then from there, I started just planning my days. Saying, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to do this? I've never done this before.
Are these are 4-year seats? 4 years?
6.
6 years.
Yes.
So imagine what it must be like for political candidates that have to run every 2 years. And there are plenty of those all over.
Yes.
That's tough and grinding, you know, for them to do that. So tell us a little bit about where you grew up.
I grew up in Miami-Dade County. My parents are Cuban immigrants. My father and my mother came from Cuba back in the 50s. My father does come from a political family. My uncle was a senator and secretary of state of Cuba prior to Castro. He was a lawyer as well. My grandfather was an accountant. So
you got two. You're the accountant and the lawyer.
Yes. Yes. I took after both.
So did that play into you becoming an accountant as well?
No. I like numbers. I like calculations. I like formulas, things like that. But my father was a car salesman. He had a little used car lot. And my mother was a secretary. So they were working class people. And I'm first generation, newer generation lawyer. And I'm both lawyer and accountant.
And you're pretty proud of it.
Well, yes, I am, because it's hard work.
Yes.
I had to earn it. I had to work very hard for it.
So in private practice, you had a lot of cases.
Yes,
all the time, for years.
For years.
So how do you process that? You go, oh my God, I got all these people that I'm representing, or cases that I'm representing. How do I spend the time and know enough about this that I can represent them with the gusto that I have, and to be able to be fair to them and to yourself? How do you do that?
Dedication, good work ethic. If you have to represent your client to the fullest ability. You as a lawyer, you have that responsibility and that ethical obligation. So if it's a long night, it's a long night. You stay up and you do it. No matter what. You go prepared to court. You represent your client the proper way. And that's what I've always lived by. I have very, very good work ethic. And a lot of my bosses will tell you. She's like, oh, she has very good work ethic. I'm still told that to this day. Every time I've transferred to another firm or gotten a new job, I've always, most of my bosses have said, whenever you want to come back, you're always welcome.
So tell us about some of the charitable activities that you're involved in or that you like to be involved in.
Oh, I love my children. I always do the toy drives every year. Now I'm working on a back to school drive that we want to put together. Voices for Children is what I usually dedicate my time to. I did Garden ad Litem for a few years before, not as an attorney, but as a volunteer.
Why don't you tell us what that entails?
Well, I would go and they would give me a case file and I would look at it just as a regular volunteer, not as a lawyer, and I would visit the home of where the foster child was. They would usually give me the transfers from other counties.
So you would represent a foster child through the state?
I would go, no. Oh. I would actually go and visit the foster home and make sure everything was okay, talk to the child, talk to the foster parents, what is it that you need, how is he doing, how is he or she doing, and then report that back, write the reports and report it back to the Garden ad Litem. Say, hey, it's okay, he's okay, he's happy, just how is everything going? Because these kids have a lot of change in their life. So I would just report it back. I would be like the neutral person to see what's going on. And I would report it back, and then whatever they needed, they would tell me what they need, how the child is doing in school, and things like that.
So if somebody wanted to do that, they don't have to be a lawyer. They can go and they can go on Google somewhere and find out how to do it. Very fulfilling for you, obviously.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And in Miami, we have such a wide range of economic positions. Very diverse here, and we're really lucky. I can't imagine living in a place where everybody looked like me. It'd just be like, that'd be pretty boring, right? And so Miami, we're really privileged to be able to do this, no matter what the people say across the country. It really is a dynamic city and county and tri-county area. So here we are. This is middle of June. Elections coming up shortly. There's people can vote by ballot. They can go in, or they're going to be early voting. And so the last day of voting is when?
I believe it's August 18.
That's the last day.
I believe so.
So I tell people, don't wait until the last day because it may be snowing in Miami on that particular day, right? They can, again, so the county, whoever's going to announce that, how they can vote early. And there'll be absentee ballots, I guess, are going to be sent out soon. And so how many people are in this particular race?
In my race?
Yes.
One more.
Okay. And so it's over in August. In some cases, that might be just the primary and not the runoff. Correct. Yes.
Until November.
Yes.
So if there's more than two, then they'll be going till November.
Yes. So have you imagined what that first day might be like should you get elected?
I have a plan as to how I'm going to target the cases, and I like to sit. When I first start a job, I like to sit with the employees, with in this case would be the judicial assistants and the people in the courtroom, and sit with them and say, okay, so how can we make your job more efficient? How can we be more efficient to the people who come before the court, right? How many cases do we have pending? How many cases do we have that have been sitting here for a while? How many motions do we need to get heard? How can I help you help me? So I like to sit down with the employees first. In the first 90 days, I think it's critical when you first come to office because you have to plan out what is it that you're going to do. You have to continue moving forward, right? Because you have to continue the docket and you have to continue cases being heard. But you also have to plan for what's actually sitting for a while and what you need to do about it. And how am I going to help the judicial assistant, whoever she may be, or he, how are we going to get this done, right? So we have to have a plan, and I like to sit with them and do it together, as I usually do. I've been a managing attorney for early on in my career, so I've had employees, I've had lawyers and paralegals and things like that that I manage. So I've always done that. I've always sat with them because they're the experts, right? Because I'm coming in and they're the experts on what they do. So who better than to talk to than the experts, right? To get things done.
Let's talk about how AI is going to affect your job down the road, whether it's in public office or in private. Just give us an idea of your concept of what AI might be doing in the next couple of years.
I think a lot of people are Googling and using AI to file pleadings and things like that, like pro se litigants. But they're not. It's not always correct, right? So we have to determine, did they use AI or not? If you're going to file a pleading that you used AI, you need to say it in the pleading. That's probably one of my rules that I'm going to instill, is like, if you used AI to this case law and it's not proper and it's not correct, you need to file it saying, I used AI to do this, because a lot of things aren't right. It isn't correct. Lawyers, they read, they analyze, and they write. So if a person comes in and they use AI, that's a little risky because it's not always correct.
And it will get better, but the reality is when you have other people's lives depending on it, not just their money, but their lives, it is a big deal. People need to be cautious and acutely aware and continue to study to make that better.
Absolutely. And I do want to say that when you go to court on any matter, it affects people's lives, whether it's financially or their freedom or whatever it is. So being a judge, besides that it's an honor, it's a very important job because you are, at the end of the day, affecting people's lives.
Yes.
One way or the other. Yes.
So let's say in 25 years from now, you're looking back to the younger you. What would that 25-year-old woman say about you?
Me looking back 25 years? I don't know. That's a good question.
So, as you get a little bit older, you start thinking about those things.
Yes.
And decide where you want to be. And so you've said, okay, I want to be a county court judge, and if I get that, it'll be 6 blessed years. And what a great honor that would be for you to be there.
Absolutely.
And not have to worry about, gee, I got to go out and I got to run for office again, because that's one of the challenges certainly in a political arena, to where people they're always campaigning. That's just the way that it is. So I know a lot of people sort of condemn the judicial system, but I think it's pretty good. But you have to have active representation. And for the people that are listening that don't have much money, there are plenty of places they can go. There's a legal aid society, I think, Miami-Dade County. There are a couple other places where you there's some for criminal, which would be the public defender's office. Mm-hmm. And if you're a bad guy, all right, the state's going to be after you. And Carlos Martinez heads up the public defender's office. Very nice gentleman. And there's plenty of places for go that are not for criminal cases, but half the cases right now are for foreclosures and evictions. So there's a lot of pressure that's going on. I'm sure that at some point, if you get into office, who knows, maybe some that'll come across somebody's desk. So again, people that are hurting financially, there's plenty of help, whether it's for social services or for legal services. So we wish you a lot of good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you out on the campaign trail.
Absolutely.
Right? And people can find you at Maribel for Judge, Maribel Diaz for Judge at Yahoo.
Yes.
They can find you there.
Yes,
okay.
They can.
Wonderful. Maribel, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And let's look at that camera right over there. First of all, Maribel, thank you for joining us. Second, my brother Grant and I subscribe to the Disney rule, which is when you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Have a great day. Bye now.